Welcome to a What I Eat in a Day. So we have all of the ingredients out for breakfast and let's get started. It's going to be a big one. First things first, I need to prep the ingredients. So I'm going to start off by washing the apple. Got to remove that sticker. And then I'll go in and wash the potatoes as well so that everything's nice and shiny and clean. Don't want to eat any dirt. Now I need to dry everything off, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a hand towel, just a random one, and I'm going to dry off the apple, and then also clean the counter while I'm drying the potatoes. Gotta clean as you go. So now everything is ready to go. Went ahead and grabbed my cutting board so that we can go ahead and chop these potatoes. And please do not make fun of my knife skills when I do this. I have zero knife skills, and also my knives are super dull, so bear with me. I'm sorry, it's embarrassing, but ta-da, everything's chopped. I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this olive oil because these are going to go in the air fryer. So I'm just gonna massage it, make sure everything's coated, and then I'm going to season them. You can honestly season your potatoes however you want. I added pepper, some flaky salt, because honestly flaky salt is like literally the best thing ever. So that's all I added. Now time for the prosciutto, because we can never have too much protein, and that's gonna go ahead in the air fryer. That's the aftermath. Gotta let it rest for a bit so I can get crunchy. And in the meantime, I will chop up my apple. I love apples, specifically organic Honeycrisp, and I'm just showing you how I chop them up. Honestly, it's super straightforward, but I just chop the apple into quarters, remove the core, and then slice it. And something else that I do is remove the edge because I care about presentation, and that just makes the apples look so much prettier. And then I'm going to stack them on the plate, so that's what you guys see here. Super organized, my tower of apples. Next up is the eggs. So I'm just going to grab my bowl and crack 2 eggs. I know eggs, super basic, but I'm making the Bobby Flay eggs today, so not so basic. Just gonna stir that up and add some seasoning. I just added some pepper, do not add salt yet. And then I'm gonna go in with some creme fraiche on a cold pan. That is key. And also I'm gonna add a little bit of butter, or maybe that's not a little bit, depending on who you ask. And then I'm going to add the eggs. And then that is when we turn the heat on. And we keep it on low. See, I have my rubber spatula, just stirring it, letting everything come together. And I'm just gonna take it slow. I'm not rushing the eggs. I don't want to overcook them. That's the key with the Bobby Flay eggs. Honestly, I probably cooked them more than he would, but I don't really like super runny eggs. But I just shaped it so that it looks all nice and pretty. And I'm going to add some chives because Bobby Flay says to add chives, and it really does make it so much better. And then go in with the secret ingredient, that prosciutto that we cooked in the air fryer. By now it's all nice and crispy, and this is just adding even more protein to this breakfast, but so good. So back to the apples. We can now add in the eggs. Best way to start the day. Honestly, this meal is so amazing. And also, to make it even better, added some Chobani Greek yogurt for even more protein. And then also, don't forget about those potatoes, because I did, but I added them at the end. Now it's time for lunch, and a bag of cucumbers means cucumber salad. So I'm chopping everything up. I just chopped up 2 of those cucumbers, and that's everything I used to make the sauce. There's a whole host of things going on here. Also making honey pecan shrimp, but more on that later. I just went ahead and added that cucumber to a bowl because it needs to sit with some salt. So adding that here, a good amount of salt because you are going to rinse it off later on. But I just popped this on, and I really want to make sure that I mix everything in so everything is evenly coated, and then I will cover it with a paper towel before I pop it in the fridge. Back to the shrimp. I have the shrimp, egg, and seasoned flour all together. So just going to go ahead and unpackage that shrimp. So first it's going to go into the egg mixture. Gonna mix it around, make sure everything's evenly coated like so. And then it's gonna go straight into the flour and seasoning so that I can get a good coating on it. And I'm gonna do that again here. So I'll do a few, just so you guys can get a feel for exactly what I did. And I did this individually for a full pound of shrimp. And then I added it to a hot pan with oil. just so they can cook. I don't do the full pound all at once, obviously, just so I can make sure that I'm not burning everything as I'm putting it into the pan, because I did go one by one, but just keeping an eye, and then it all came out beautifully, really nice and golden brown, so that is perfect right there. And then back to the cucumber salad, working on the sauce now. So just added some soy sauce right there. And now I'm adding some rice vinegar, and then I'll go in with a little bit of toasted sesame oil, some chili powder, some cayenne pepper, and some chili crunch oil, but mostly just the chili part of that so I can get a good crunch in the salad. And I'll mix everything together, add a little bit of salt and some of my favorite honey, and we'll do another mix. And this looks so good. This is a great way to get some veggies in, and ta-da, it looks amazing. So back to the pan, we're going to add some butter, and this is for the shrimp. So once the butter is melted, we add all of that shrimp back to the pan, and this looks so good. This is one of my favorite meals. And then here comes the star ingredient, the honey, and that is gonna go on top. I'm being very generous with the honey, and then I'm adding the pecans. And you can also do this with walnuts if you want honey walnut shrimp. I know that's popular, but I had pecans and I love making this with pecans, so that's what I do, and this came out so good. So I'll just let you guys go ahead and enjoy the visuals. Enough said on my part. So there we have it. That's lunch, honey pecan shrimp and cucumber salad. In a few hours after lunch, I was feeling hungry, so I went ahead and got my favorite snack, mango fries. 10 out of 10, do recommend. And now it's time for dinner, and I was really craving tacos this night, but I wanted something a little bit healthier. So we're doing tacos, but in lettuce cups. So I just went ahead and chopped my ingredients. So there is the tomato, red onion, orange and red bell pepper, and lime. And I'm also gonna chop some butter, add it to a pot with some of that red onion until it browns. And then I'm going to add the beans, because we do have beans in this recipe. I love black beans. Such a good source of protein if you're plant-based. I'm just gonna add some olive oil to a cast iron skillet with that ground beef. And we've got the beans going too. It's a party on the stove. And then I'm going to add some taco seasoning to the ground beef. And I'm just gonna go ahead and stir that up. So insert stirring montage. I'm just going to mix everything together and continue cooking until it looks like that. And then the beans look good. And then we're gonna go ahead and add the red and orange bell pepper to the meat just to make it easier on myself. And we're going to put the romaine lettuce on a plate. I'm gonna plate it up nicely because plating matters. Now the meat is done and the beans are done and everything is in a container. This is perfect for meal prep as well. But I'm just gonna start by spooning some of the beans on there. Again, if you're plant-based, you can skip the meat, but I'm trying to get as much protein as possible. And then I'm adding the tomatoes on top. Oh, it just looks so good. And then some more of the red onion. And then we're going to add some avocado because I happen to have one at home. Love that for me. And then top it with sour cream because that's my favorite way to top a taco. And voila, dinner is served. And I'll end the day off with my favorite snack, apples and peanut butter, but make it super cute. So I'm just going to chop the apple. You saw me do this morning. This is nothing new, and I really do go through apples like I don't know what, like something that you go through really, really fast. But just removing the core, chopping it up so that it looks super nice and pretty. I don't like ugly apples because I care about what I eat. And notice how we have the rough edge there. I'm just gonna go ahead and slice that off so that it looks super clean and really pretty. And then I'm going to arrange it in a plate, leaving space in the center because that's where the peanut butter is going to go, the infamous red cap. But just adding the peanut butter there, and I love to top it with just a little bit of flaky salt. And because I'm really trying to get my protein in, I topped the peanut butter with some peanut butter protein granola. Literally my fave, and this is the perfect midnight snack or evening snack if you like to go to bed early. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, especially if you stayed until the end. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.